Well, hi everyone. It's a pleasure to me to be here with you today. Thank you to accept this invitation to discuss a little bit more about the case of Domino's Pizza. As you can read before, was a big challenge for this company to give a solution for this crisis. So I want to start making some questions to you for know your opinion and also some perspective of this case. So again, thank you so much to be here and let's start. The first question is what impact does social media have on public relations practices, particularly crisis communications and reputation management? How significant is it for organizations today to monitor content on social media sites, including hashtags and other signs of internal and external dialogue?
Okay, I would like to respond this question. I believe that the impact of social media nowadays is very high because now these networks have a lot of visibility and now are very accessible for all of us, because now we can express and communicate what is happening with everything in real time. It doesn't matter if it is good or bad. We can create a crisis in any case. The point of this is on the web, you can share anything, any kind of information. So, according to the reading, they said that social media allows stakeholders to control everything, almost everything, when, where, and how the reputational meanings are born and disseminate into our organization. So it's so important that the organization be careful of all the content that they put in social media because their reputation in the market depends of the content that they put on it. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. That's a really good perspective. Now let's listen to Oswaldo.
Thank you. Well, nowadays we have something called, write it down right here. It is notion of cancel or call culture. And that means basically to boycotting or shunning an individual or some cases a product or even though a company that support that product. Right now, us as humans or even though companies, organizations, wherever is is well, it could be affected for this culture. So we know that this situation with Domino's happens many years ago. However, it happens, I don't know, 2020, 2021, or even though 2022. Um, this culture of cancellation could shut down this company. So it is, or that is how important is the social media in a company, or well, nowadays. So we are able to get an approval, or we are able to cancel for all a company or a product, or even though a person. Thank you.
That's so interesting. Now, finally, let's go and listen to Sofia.
Thank you. I totally agree with both of your answers, Lady and Oswaldo. Also, I think social media is the fastest way to reach any audience in any part of the world. But also, there is a risk since there are a lot of sources and a lot of opinions on each topic. Everything that happens, it becomes an opinion to the audience. So, the company is in risk for a bad reputation, as Oswaldo was saying, the canceling culture. So it's better for them to act quickly and also to know what is going on about the whole situation in social media before other people start to assuming or making up lies about the situation.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect. I really agree with all of you. And so I think that right now we live in a digital world, So everybody is in their phones all the day, watching news, watching trends, watching what people is saying in social media. So if you're famous or if you want to be famous or recognized as a company, you need to be into this digital world. But also they have a lot of challenge to face in the moment to enter in that big world, because your image is so exposed to be accepted or cancelled, as Waldo said before. So I think it's important to take care about a little bit of what we are saying in that platforms, because every word could be make the difference, and in just 1 second you can be the most famous person of the most hated person in the digital world. So now let's to pass to another questions. How should crisis communication preparedness plans address the proliferation of social media outlets?
Okay, I believe that it's so important that communications departments be always aware of what is happening into the media, right? Because they can act immediately after any event happens, like the Domino's Pizza case. Maybe if they had reacted quickly, they might be able to download the video and send a statement that satisfies the customers uh, so quickly, right? It could better for the company at that moment. So, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Oswaldo, what do you think about it?
Well, thank you. I think that basically, well, I'm agree with Tatiana. Communication and coordination between departments are really important. However, we are able to see benefits in this kind of crisis because we are getting instant feedbacks about our customers, about other companies, about the crisis, and we are able to create and well communicate plans and make like a plan B, plan C, and getting feedback right away if we are making a plan B, as Domino are was doing between or during all that crisis. Thank you. Crisis. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay, Sophia, please.
Well, I totally agree with both of you. Also, I think that in each company should have their own control system to control what are they uploading about the company. For example, in the case of Domino's, uh, maybe it should have been a good idea to have a control of those employees that uploaded those videos to prevent all the situation. As also as Oswaldo was saying, like a quick reaction for them to know how to respond to the response also of the customers of the whole social media platform and community, for them to know what is the next step and to do the best for the company.
Okay, thank you. I think there is important to have a plan in that kind of case, but also it's real that nobody is completely prepared to face a crisis because you don't know how that crisis is gonna be. So, in spite of have a plan and be quickly to respond in the case of something bad happen, I think the company have to be creative in that moment, depending of the situation, and try to make that crisis to their best ally, because sometimes that kind of problems makes more famous the companies. So if the people really think about how to take advantage of it, maybe the crisis will be become in an opportunity to be better and more recognized. So also, I want to know, from the perspective of crisis communicators concerned with social media, what else could Domino's have done or say to prove with actions that its case message are sincere? What other message could Domino's have delivered?
Okay. Um, I just want to share with you seven keys that Arthur W. Page Society give us to give a good message. And the first is tell the truth any moment. Second, demonstrate with actions your truth, right? The third is listen to the customers always because they are always right. Four, manage your for tomorrow. Always think about future in your plans. Five, conduct public relationships, and the entire company depends on it. It's really important to know that everything, or the company is about public. Six, realize that the true character of the company is expressed through all the people. And finally, they say that the company, they should be calm, passion, and we take any event with humorous. Thank you.
Okay, thank you too. And Oswaldo, what do
Well,
you think?
thank you, Paula. I'm more than agreed with Tatiana. However, based on my experience handling with North American customers, I know that they want to know or want to, for us, like a company, to show what will be the retaliation with those employees. So that could be a good idea, or well, an idea that Domino could do to show what will be the retaliation with those employees that upload that video. With that, well, the customer say like, hey, okay, they receive a punishment or they receive what they deserve, and they say like, okay, good, the company is taking actions about those employees. It's not saying just, oh no, I'm sorry, we apologize with this. We are not going to upload any other video, whatever, etc. So that will be a good idea. Well, in my opinion, retaliation to see what happened with those employees. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Sofia, please.
Well, I agree with you, but also I would like to point that there is a fine line, like a really tiny line, when the company or the person that is like in trouble is have like the the courage to do the apology video as the president of the company did. But also sometimes when people start to apologizing so many times, people are starting to not believe in them. So I think that they did a good action, that they apologized one time, that it was sincere, that it was a real apology. But maybe the thing that you were saying as well, like to punish the employees and the people to know that they will being punished. But I think that it was enough, because maybe if they would have like started doing some other videos or apologizing more, people would have not believed them, and it would be worse for the company.
Okay, thank you. I agree with all of you. I think too that is so important to face the situations, not just look for excuse coming from the company. So sometimes it's common that in a crisis, a company says one day something and to another day say another thing, and like change your point of view or change your argues makes that the customers don't believe in you, in your company, in your image. So if the company have the courage to face the public and apologize with them, also it's important to establish just one point of view and not look for excuse, not look for just saying sorry. Is accept the consequence and also give a solution or a kind of solution, depending of the problem. You know, in this digital world, we also focus on social media, but I want to know what other types of traditional media and social media could Domino's have used to reach its stakeholders.
Okay. To be honest, I don't know what other traditional ways are better to mitigate a crisis, but about Domino's case, maybe if they should have posts on Facebook or Twitter, it could be a good option because most of their customers are there. Maybe it could be a good option for them.
Okay, thank you.
Um, all right. In my opinion, we're talking like 2009, right? It was like 13 years ago, almost. So we have some issues with Facebook. It was starting, so mm, a lot of people got Facebook. So it was not popular, even though Twitter as well. So I guess for that specific question, I don't know, a commercial, TV commercial could be a good idea. Maybe 30 seconds of the president saying, "Hey, we apologize about that." Or even though radio, I know that in 2009 we use radio. Right now we are not use it that much. And I don't know, maybe some news, some reports, maybe in the newspaper could be a good idea. I mean, the traditional way to communicate to each other: TV, radio, and newspaper.
Perfect, thank you.
I totally agree. Actually, I was gonna say as well the news, like a channel news, because in that time I think a lot of people sources, like besides social media, was TV, the news, and also radio. That's a good choice. I didn't think about that, but I think that the most important one would be the news, since it will be like a serious commitment channel for them to know that it was a sincere apology as well.
Okay, perfect. I totally agree with you. I thought the same, was in 2009. Also, I think the newspapers was a common and traditional way to read news. So, like a poster in that kind of newspapers could be a good idea to apologize to the public. And well, let's continue with another question. What other challenge do you think that PR practitioners, marketers, or corporate communicators could have in telling the truth in a digital age?
Mm, all right. I believe that the challenge today is say the truth and be sincere with a real concern about the public and about people. The big challenge is be transparent with everything.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I more than agree one more time with Tatiana. I mean, both marketing professionals and PR practitioners are familiar with the concept of building well, building trust. So it's the most important thing, building trust.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I think that one of the most challenging like parts of the PR practitioners is that each individual assumes whatever they see as their own. They each one have their own opinion. Each one can assume it if it's bad or good for them, and they can start to like imprint that thinking to other people. So I think that the way the people perceived the news, apology, everything that they see on social media is really challenging for the PR practitioners.
Okay, thank you. I think too that, for example, if you want to the public trust you, you need to be focused on how do you respond in that kind of situation like a crisis because that gives you an image, and if you care about it and you are focused on how do you respond and what is your version, in another situation the public is gonna have a perspective of you and your company. So it's not just for one time or just for one situation. It's all he is all a story and all the background that makes that the public trust on you. It's a really hard work. Well, how important is speed of response rate in digital world, particularly when an organization is facing a crisis situation?
Okay, I think that give a quick response is so important because they if they respond in short time, they can give you the a good impression of the organization. They can give you that they are committed with your beliefs, and they can be a reliability and credibility organization.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. I agree with you, Tatiana. So basically, the first 24 hours after a crisis are the most important to take actions. So after that time of matter of time, um, basically, if we are going to provide any answer or any resolution, it will could it will we will need to do it in minutes. So yes, as I say, the first 24 hours are crucial in a crisis like this.
Okay.
Yeah, totally agreed. Actually, I think that as soon as possible is better because the more you wait, the more people, as I was saying in the previous question, are starting to assume things. Also, they can take the silence as an opinion, as an answer. So it's really dangerous when they are not like stating anything and people are starting to assuming things.
Okay, thank you. I think yeah, it's important to be fast, but also I think we have to take little a short time to think about how is gonna the problem develop. Because sometimes the answer for the company is not the best. They respond to the public, but the response is no view or perceive in a good way. So yeah, the first 24 hours, but also taking a moment to create a plan, yeah, about the response. So, well, I think this case is so important to analyze a little bit more about the huge influence of the social media right now and how the public can express their ideas in this age. So, are there another conclusions that you can draw for this incident?
I can conclude that nowadays information travels so fast on the web. So you should be very careful with the content that you create and consume. This is important. And about organizational level, definitely should be a social media department in each organization in order to be in charge of everything that happens on the web. It doesn't matter if the information is good or is bad. The idea is always give a fast and effective responses to satisfy the consumers of any aspect.
Okay, thank you so much.
Perfect. I got two. The first one, in this particular case of Domino's, the president could make something different, maybe to a promotion, something like show the video and get the 10% off or get a free cola, something like that. I mean, use the bad publicity and bad notice that we got about the company to get a profit of it. And the second one is basically that social media can be your best friend or your worst enemy. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that is so true. I think that nowadays social media is everything. I mean, you know about things in social media. The companies, the publicity, marketing, messages, everything is through social media. So it's a very dangerous space, but also we are in a season where you can reach any part of the world through social media, so it could be also an advantage. So I am totally agree with the phrase as Oswaldo say, because it's true. Social media could be good or bad depending on how you use it.
Yes, thank you so much. As I said before, we live in a digital world, So right now we have to learn how to survive in this world, and also to be recognized in a good way. If we want to be recognized, we have to learn how to do it well. So thank you so much for this time, for this moment to share your opinions. I really appreciate every point of view. So I hope you can learn a lot of this case and have a little or an important conclusion for yourself, for your company, and for your life. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very
Have a
much for
wonderful
having
day.
us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye.